Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. 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 Testing. 1, 2, 3. The Xavier Knights take the field to a standing crowd at Aviator. Gonna welcome them in to home turf for playoff football. National anthem and a quick break, and then we have kickoff. Stay here. You're listening to Xavier Knights football, streaming live on the YouTube channel. It is a perfect night for football and an even better one to kick off the varsity playoffs between the Xavier Knights and Kellenberg Firebirds. Tonight, round one of the CHSAA AA playoffs from Aviator Field in South Brooklyn. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Knights Football. I'm Josh Wolliver. Xavier enters the playoffs coming off a dominant win versus Christ the King to end the regular season last week. A 20-0 game where they scored every single point in the first half. That finished their season as 7-2. Kellenberg, on the other hand, really struggled this season. It was a 1-8 year for them, but none of it matters because it is a fresh start today as we welcome in the playoffs. These two teams already met once this season. It was a 28-7 Xavier victory right here at Aviator back in week one. They'll try to replicate that dominance again tonight. Kellenberg won the toss. They elected to receive. And we are just moments away from kickoff to begin the playoffs. Second year for Coach Dom DeFalco, who led his team to a 5-5 record last season, but a Turkey Bowl win. put a exclamation mark on the season that eventually fed into this one. A 7-2 season where the team went a respectable 4-2 in league play. Kellenberg, on the other hand, trying to turn around their season. It was not pretty. It is the 7-2 matchup as the number 1 seed. St. Joe's, they get the bye. Kellenberg will receive. The kick from Theo Sheridan Vital. Officials figuring it out. We'll load up the scoreboard and get it started. Here from Aviator. A lot of energy on both sidelines. Immediately after the national anthem and the coin toss, you saw the hopping, the jumping, the energy all around. The buzz is in the air in early November for a right to move on in the playoffs. Season at stake. It is win or go home time, and couldn't be a better time for it. Huddle is broken. Sheridan Vital tees it up from the 40, back deep to receive for Kellenberg. McLeod, number 7, and 22 is Brendan Barkley. Here we go. It's in the air and we're off. Skips at the 10-yard line, bounces into the end zone, and the Kellenberg offense will start at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Xavier sends out their defense to start things off, led by Captain 20, Rob Malachi, a tackling machine alongside him. At linebacker 7, Ryan Lavin, the sophomore, who has been great defensively for them all season. Swanson lines up at the near edge as well. And here we go. Daniel Licari's in the shotgun. He hands going left. Oh, big hit! Coming off to start this game. Ace Jernstead put a pop into Jaden McLeod. Pickup of 5, but Xavier gets the energy on their side early. Good tackle by Jernstead. Put his shoulder down and leveled him. 2nd down and 5. Kellenberg breaks the huddle quick. Barkley's in the backfield. It is a handoff to Barkley, who gets to the outside. Barkley trying to slip a tackle, but he cannot. Wrapped up and spun down by Brady Metzger. 3rd down and 4. Hell's bells rings. First chance to get off the field defensively for Xavier. 3rd and 4. Hasn't been louder all season at Aviator. It's 3rd down and 2, excuse me. Kellenberg still trying to figure out the substitutions, get the personnel right. Lachari back into the huddle for the Firebirds with the play call. 3rd down and 1. They spread a receiver either side. 3 in the backfield in a triangle. Lachari takes a snap. Looked like there was movement. He gets rid of it to the outside. It's caught. Hauled in for 1st down yardage. John Hastings makes the sliding grab. 1st down. Kellenberg moves the sticks on a well-executed pitch and catch. Ball out quickly. And Kellenberg likes it. Their opening series extends. Thought there was movement on the right side of that line. It looked like number 56, which is Nick Nielsen, might have moved a little bit early, but the officials didn't see it. 1st down and 10, spotted at the 32. 2 receivers spread out near side. That's McCabe and Hastings. Lachari takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Big time hole. Slipping tacklers past midfield up to the 45-yard line. Strong run, Brendan Barkley. Firebirds move the sticks again. Good blocks up front. Easy hold to the right side. Lowers his shoulder. It's a pickup of 17 yards to move the sticks. 1st down and 10. Kellenberg playing with tempo. There's a false start. Looked like some snapping trouble from the center. That's 75. Chris Biondi. That'll back up Kellenberg, so they have the big play. Immediately lose 5 of those to back up to their own side of midfield. A little over 2.5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter. First possession of the game. Kellenberg trying to get their signals in. They break it quick. They spread 3 to the near side this time. McLeod joins the crowd. Lakari takes the snap. Handoff up the middle. Gain of about 4. Couple of guys in on the tackle for the Knights. Looked like the main one was Sal Vital, or excuse me, Aiden Chimicles. They continue to feed Barkley on this opening possession, but the third down conversion was through the air. They're set up for second and a long 10. Snap from the 45-yard line, one-on-one near side for McCabe. Lakari takes the snap. He's back to pass. Hole opens up the middle. He takes it. Lakari with a nice move, and he gets popped right around the 37-yard line. Going to be a yard or 2 shy of the first. Stewart came up to hit him while he was sliding. No flag comes down. Another third down and short situation. It was a quick pass to the outside last time. Let's see what Kellenberg can draw up here. Likely 4-down territory on the plus side of midfield. But Xavier defense trying to make a statement early and get off the field. They need the 35-yard line. They scrunch it in tight this time with 3 in the backfield. Lakari takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Big gain. First down and more to the 26-yard line. Jaden McLeod, the running back, 6 foot 200 from Freeport, lowers the shoulder. He keeps the drive alive to the 26-yard line. Good run. Kellenberg converts a second time on third down this drive. Chains move, first down, puts Kellenberg inside the red zone. McLeod goes outside as they have 2 either side. McLeod motions back, handoff is to him on the end around. McLeod slips a tackler, slips 2 and 3. Close to the first down marker, certainly inside the red zone. Pickup of 14, move the chains down to the 13-yard line. Big run, McLeod. Back-to-back big plays for the Firebirds. The third down conversion. And then another angry run. Picks up 20-plus on the last 2 snaps. Joseph Mullen, the junior, into the game for the first time. Xavier's defense trying to get a stop. Ball's inside the 15 now. 1 receiver spread out left on an island. That's Hastings. Near side in the slot is McCabe. Back to pass. Fade ball. Back corner to the end zone. Almost intercepted. It's incomplete. Looked like Ace Jernstedt had a chance on it. He already made a big hit early in this drive. It was a 50-50 jump ball looking for the bottom left pylon of that end zone. They went big, couldn't get it, incomplete. Second down and 10, but if you're the Firebirds, you like the aggressiveness, you like the idea. This is a 1-8 football team, but this first offensive drive would not tell you that. They are coming out playing well, playing with aggression. And overall, it has been a statement so far. Second down and 10 from the 15. Back to pass, whips it near side, caught for a pickup of about 7. Couple guys in for the Xavier tackle. Looks like Rob Malachi led the crew. Down to the 10-yard line now for a third down and 5. Again, if you're Kellenberg, you're probably thinking 4 downs. So that would be 2 to pick up 5 if you do the math. Halfway through the first quarter, can Kellenberg capitalize and finish off on a strong opening possession? Nick Rugen, the little guy at 5'9", checks into the game. Kellenberg still trying to get their play call in. Xavier defense has had themselves a chance for a stop a couple of times. Kellenberg converted both. They've been efficient in the pass game so far, only the one incompletion to the end zone. They have Chernaski one-on-one at the top. He's in trouble at the 10, floats it, dangerous throw, hits the turf, incomplete. Licari was probably looking for his wide receiver, Brandon McCabe, incomplete. And the special teams unit comes out. Kellenberg going to try and take a 3-0 lead. It was a very promising drive if you're Kellenberg. Xavier able to extinguish the threat, and now you're looking at max a 3-point deficit, which is a big win if you're the Knights. Caleb Diassi on the kick out of the hold of Patrick Siampra. Kick, hit the bottom of the upright, no good. Oh my goodness, disaster for Kellenberg, and at the end of the day, Xavier comes away tied. Looked like a very promising Firebirds drive. They worked it inside the 10. Xavier's defense and special teams comes up big in the red zone. The kick is no good from Diassi. Not what you're looking for if you're Kellenberg. Xavier takes over at the 20-yard line. Here comes Peter Heaney in the offense for their first time. But man, that is a big time momentum swing. 6 minutes into this first quarter. And Kellenberg has to capitalize as big underdogs in the 2-7 matchup if they want a chance. Expect a lot of the ground game as usual if you're the Knights. It's Heaney to keep it himself. He got blasted immediately. 2 guys in on the tackle. It was Nathan Chungata leading the charge. Big body, 5'11", 290 on that line for Kellenberg, who features a lot of big guys who likely are going to be keying in on stopping the run, filling holes, and that time it was a couple to the football to limit Heaney to maybe a gain of a half a yard, likely just back to the line of scrimmage for a 2nd down and 10 snap. Xavier loads up the near side with Liam Averill. Heaney is in the shotgun. Heaney going to take it himself, coming near side, cannot turn the corner. He got buried. Christian Jean-Francis killed him in the backfield. 3rd down and 14. Kellenberg coming out energized. Chance for them to force a punt early. Deep in your own territory. It is 3rd down and 14. That play was blown up right from the beginning. Tried to turn the corner, and after what was a 6-minute drive, Xavier going to try and extend this as much as they can, not force their defense right back out there immediately. 3:55 and counting here on the first quarter game clock. Direct snap up the middle, pickup of about 7, not nearly enough. Xavier looks like they're going to punt. Their opening drive stalls out. It is a 3-and-out for the Knights. Kellenberg, an opportunity to pick up some quality field position. Sheridan Vital out on to kick with the punt unit. He has been both ways in terms of place kicking, punting, kickoffs. He has done everything for this Knights team if it involves a leg. And he was looking good in those warm-ups, angling a couple down inside the 10-yard line. Going to try and get distance and hang time on this one. Pressure off both edges. Gets it away. It is a spiraling kick. Fair caught and fumbled. This ball is free. Anybody's football. Xavier, who has it? Officials no signal. Kellenberg retains it. A dangerous situation for the Knights. They almost had a chance. Fumbled on the return. It was a twisting kick. Backing up at his own 45-yard line, and that is crisis averted if you are Kellenberg. Almost set the Knights up at the 30-yard line or inside. Kellenberg will retain at the 28-yard line. A high-quality chance for Xavier on special teams. They can't come up with it. It's Dom Cognata in his first game back, getting attention from the athletic training staff on the near bench. Meanwhile, Kellenberg has an opportunity just to hold on the football. Feels like a win for them right now. Pickup of about 2 on the run on the opening play. Good tackle, Malachi. Coming up hobbling that time looked like 8. Chimicles. Almonte gets credit for the tackle. 2nd down and 7. Boy, again, Xavier an 8+ opportunity to pounce on that thing. If nothing else, I guess the silver lining is the Firebirds lose about 20 yards of field position. But if you're Xavier, you're thinking about a much better possible outcome that could have happened there. And you're talking about setting Heaney and this offense up. A dangerous one in the red zone at that with good field position. We can just go from here if you're Xavier, though. It's a keeper. Going to the outside, nowhere to go. 4 Knights collapse. Swanson, Metzger, Lavin, the whole gang in there to bring up a 3rd down and medium. Good tackling by Xavier. Rally to the football. Spotted about 6 shy of the marker. And again, Licari's been great through the air. Hasn't had a ton of room to work with on the ground. Let's see if that can change. The Firebirds do have the big line, but time to see if Xavier can get the 3rd down stop. They couldn't on that opening drive. Try and force Kellenberg to punt after they worked it inside the red zone down to the 10. A missed field goal off the bottom of the crossbar made this game 0-0. They spread it out wide. 3 to the near side, 1 to far. Licari back to pass, fakes the handoff. Gonna rip it under pressure, slips away. Licari, 1st down yardage and more. 40, 45. Scrambles out of bounds to the far sideline. Big pickup of 10, maybe 12. Moves the sticks. Nice run. Looked like Xavier had a chance on Licari in the backfield. He slipped free and escaped. From there was a foot race to the sideline that he controlled up to the 44-yard line. Big scramble by Licari, who has finally made that first play with his legs of the day so far. Motion out a man, it's a run up the middle. Big hole, dragging tacklers. Malachi can't bring him down. It is Barkley, the powerful run and a couple flexes after the fact. Officials say it's enough to move the chains into Xavier territory down to the 44-yard line. 1st down, Kellenberg playing with a vengeance early. 33 seconds left in this first quarter. I suppose Kellenberg doesn't have to snap the ball, but they line up like they will. Licari takes the snap, flags down for a false start. Looked like there might have been a couple of those. One was called on the opening possession. I believe they're going to get Jaden McLeod coming across. But there might have been a flinch, so backs Kellenberg up to the 49-yard line. Clock stops. Now they'll definitely have to run an official play before the quarter. But again, looked like there was a couple of those. Maybe in the first quarter, the refs missed 1 or 2. They call the 2nd false start on Kellenberg thus far. And now with the clock winding, inside 10 seconds, looks like Kellenberg is probably going to be content where they're at. And that will do it for the first quarter. A 0-0 score, but it couldn't have been more eventful. Knights playing a lot of defense. Let's see if they can pick up a stop when we come back for the beginning of the second quarter. You're listening to Xavier High School football in the playoffs live on the YouTube channel. perfect weather to kick off the playoffs of the CHSAA AA bracket. The 7-2 matchup featuring the Knights and the Firebirds continues. It was a missed field goal in the first quarter is how we're at 0-0. Xavier had one offensive drive. If you're just joining us, 3 and out, went for a negative net yardage. Lakari will take the snap from midfield. He's back to pass all day in the pocket, throws it underneath, but it's only a pickup of 2 or 3. Lakari was way back in the pocket, deep to his own 45-yard line, or closer to the 40, so it's only a pickup of 3. Catch made by Hastings, who they tried in the end zone once in that first quarter, couldn't get him. Good protection that time by the offensive line. That's something we'll continue to monitor, whether Xavier is able to get that pressure coming up the gut or not. This time he's got 2 in the backfield. Lakari motions out. Barkley, it's a handoff up the middle. Oh, big hole! Burst of speed! There he goes! 1 to beat! Dragged down in the end zone! Touchdown, Kellenberg! The Firebirds start the scoring party 2 plays into the second. It's Jaden McLeod, the junior, for the score. Kellenberg sideline fired up. A monster run of 37 yards. Extra point is up, and it is perfect. 7-0 Kellenberg. They get the opening score of this game, and they are feeling good. Woo. Energetic run. 1 to beat right up the middle of that Xavier defense. Cut it right in half like a beautiful slice of birthday cake. And from there, it was a track meet for McLeod, and he blew the competition out. Xavier, another chance. Offensively, this time feels like they have to respond. Kellenberg has all the energy, all the firepower in their arms right now. Averil's back deep to return for Xavier. So is Ace Jernstedt, who's played a big part of this defense so far. Diassi comes back after the missed field goal and nails the extra point. He's on to kick it off from his own 40. And a drop-dead silence on the Knights sideline right now. It's 50 seconds into the second quarter. Short kickoff will be fielded and fumbled. Xavier retains, and it's Avril just to pick it up and save the day. Tackled inside his own 25-yard line. It was a good kick by Diassi. Put some end over end spin on it, and it looked like it was Finn Robbins who had trouble handling it. No problem, though, for Xavier. Avril able to pick it up. There wasn't too much pressure because it was a short kick, so Avril was right there to be able to keep it. But now Peter Heaney and this offense goes back to work, down a score this time. Let's see what Xavier can do. Ball's in their court now. Can they return serve? Heaney's in the shotgun, has Riley McLaughlin to his left. They load it up to the far side. Direct snap. Heaney going to take it himself up the middle. A gang of Kellenberg tacklers. Pick up of 4 to the 28-yard line. Strong run comes to the near side to get the play call. That's what it is with the Xavier team. Grind, power, short yardage. Keep it moving, though. An offense that will grind out the clock. Not really made to be down in games, but certainly a one-score game early in the second quarter is not a problem. But third, fourth quarters, that may start to become an issue. This is not a team that passes the ball very much, with Coach Chris Stevens retiring 2 years ago. Coach DeFalco told me last season that he's going to try and incorporate the passing game into this program more, but it's going to take time. This time it's a direct snap. McLaughlin makes a couple miss, picks up 1 to the 30, though. 3rd down and 3. Couple right up the middle for Xavier. They try their luck with basically the same play. Now it is 3rd down and 4-ish. Markers at the 34-yard line. Should be interesting to see what Xavier's thought process in there. To try and incorporate some new faces. Tyler Buono, a name to look out for. Liam Averill. Both of those guys on the near side. Or do they go same old, same old? Kellenberg puts 5 at the front and 4 in the linebacking position. It's a jump shift right to left. Xavier does not get him to draw. It's another jump shift right to left. Kellenberg stays disciplined once more. Direct snap. Heaney going to run it up the middle. Does not have the yardage. Looks like he's a half a yard short. 4th down and inches. Wow, he's close. Burst up the middle. You have to imagine Xavier keeps their offense out there. Now there's someone slow to get up. Who is it? That's the quarterback, Peter Heaney. Not a good sign. Claps his hands. Looks like he's all right. Or he is not going to stay in the game for this play, and he is kneeling on the near sideline. Now takes a seat with the athletic training staff next to him. This does not look promising. Holding his left ankle. For the time, it is a 4th down and 1 where Xavier keeps their offense out there without their quarterback. Have to imagine it's McLaughlin. Schechner comes into the game. What do? Official now going to call for a measurement, saying he might have this thing. If nothing else, that gives Peter Heaney a little bit more time. See what he's going on now. He's going to get up, hobbling to the bench. This measurement's close. It looks like Xavier has a case that that's a 1st down. It is! 1st down, Xavier! By the length of probably a paper clip, Knight's able to move the chains, pick up their first down of the game. There's a little bit of confidence inspiring. Not a good sign without your quarterback, but for the time being, it is McLaughlin, the starting running back, and Elijah Stewart in the backfield. Xavier lines it up. It's a direct snap to Stewart, running up the middle. He got punished in the backfield. Lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Kellenberg pumped up. Double shot. Antwine came in to make the tackle. The sophomore from Uniondale making a big play on that interior line. That's where Kellenberg has thrived so far in stopping Xavier. That was a big 1st down run by Heaney on the play. He had to exit the game for injury. Looks like he's up, moving around, has his helmet back near the line of scrimmage. That's a fumble. Stewart falls on it back at his own 28. Ooh, fumbled snap, had trouble with it. Lost 10 yards on the play, just lucky to retain possession with 8:12 to go in the second quarter. It's 3rd down and a half mile. Good news for Xavier. Peter Heaney back into the game. Bad news is you're snapping from the 33. 1st down markers at the 24. 1st down markers at the 43. 3rd down and 19. Should be interesting to see if Tom DeFalco's willing to spray this one out, or if you try and run it, maybe play the field position game, set up your punting unit. A lot of decisions to be made. 3rd and 19. Heaney rolls left. He's looking to pass. Gonna go long. Cannot have his man. I was looking for Tyler Buono near the far sideline. Past the sticks. Just overthrew his man towards the sideline. Incomplete. With 7:31 to play in the second quarter, Xavier sends out the punt unit for the 2nd time today. Back deep to receive for Kellenberg is John Hastings. Theo Sheridan Vitale to boot it away. Kellenberg another chance at getting things going offensively. Trying to grow their lead in. The offensive unit comes back to the sideline, looking a little disappointed. Sheridan Vitale gets it away. Bounces at the 49, takes a Xavier roll. That thing is still going. Settles up around the 30-yard line. Good bill from Theo Sheridan Vital and a little bit of gratuity on top. A nice roll, and Xavier allows him to flip field position. But the big storyline is the 7-seed Kellenberg team, who went 1-8 in the regular season, 1-6 in division, has come out through these first 20 or so minutes and played spectacular football. Complimentary. They probably should be up 2 scores right now, if not for a missed field goal. But the bottom line is they have the ball, chance to extend the lead to double digits. Xavier defense trying to keep this thing right where it is. Not allow this 7 seed to get any more leeway that they can. There's a touchdown score with his first touch of the ball. Oh, that thing might have came out at the end. Officials huddling, they're saying he was down. Oh, interesting. Tom DeFalco doesn't think so. Xavier had a case that ball was stripped out before, but it looked like the knee of Jaden McLeod was down right before that ball came out. Certainly is a game of inches. At the end of the day, it's a pickup of 8. Xavier from thinking they had a turnover. Instead, Kellenberg, 2nd down and 2. Anything they want to do offensively. Back to pass. Going deep. Down the middle it is. Broken up, incomplete. No flag. Wow. Oh my goodness. John Hastings and the entire Kellenberg sideline thought that there would be some laundry after the fact. Elijah Stewart in coverage was a half step behind him, but started to make up ground at the end. Looked like he lunged for the football, didn't come up with it. Head was not turned. You could probably make a good case that that's pass interference and should have been 15. Officials don't call it. It has been a loose game thus far. 3rd down and 2. Kellenberg has converted a couple of times early in this game. The only one they didn't in the red zone. 3rd and 2, 6:34 to play in the second quarter. You like the aggressiveness from Kellenberg. They go deep on a 2nd and 2, trying to pick up first down yardage. Xavier stacks the box. It's a handoff up the middle. 1st down and more. Angry run again. Brendan Barkley moves the chains up to the 47-yard line. Malachi brought him down after a pickup of 9 on 3rd and 4. Chains move, clock winds. And honestly, this is a very cohesive Kellenberg unit right now. They are moving the ball at will. Couple of strong runs back to back. Have them right around midfield. Another run. Barkley slips a tackler. 2 finally dragged down by his heels at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 5. And even when Xavier looks all right on defense, it's still positive yards, positive yards, positive yards for the Firebirds. They continue to look good. 2nd down and 5. Newhouse comes off the field. Xavier shows 4 at the line. Lakari back to pass. Whistles blow. Timeout Kellenberg. Their first of the half before the 2nd down. We will take a quick break. Come right back. You're listening to Xavier High School Playoff Football live on the YouTube channel. Dom DeFalco went out to that 40-yard line, gathered around his guys, and kept them in the huddle as long as he could before the officials forcibly broke it up. Clearly a message that he needs to send to his guys. Lakari, false start on the offense. Looked like some early movement from 54, Christian Jean-François. That backs Kellenberg up, and certainly not what they're thinking coming out of the timeout. That backs them up to make it 2nd down and 9, back on their own side of midfield. Second time they've done that. Pre-snap penalty to bring them back across the 50-yard line. Lakari's in the shotgun with his usual 2 suspects next to him. Handoff up the middle. Oh, good run. Cut move. Near side. 40, 35, 30. Shoved out of bounds by Malachi at the 31-yard line. Jaden McLeod continues to work this Xavier defense, stretching it wing to wing, end to end, sideline to sideline. Xavier not coming up with many answers right now on defense. Oh my goodness, Kellenberg goes fast. They're already up to the line. Chernosky, slot near side. Handoff, Barkley to the right. Picks up 5 to the 27. Good run forward progress, killed it there. Can Xavier find answers for the Kellenberg running defense? Right now they haven't. They came up with 1 stop in the red zone earlier tonight. But boy, they're going to have to be big tonight. Xavier's offense hasn't come up with much so far, and Peter Heaney was lingering on the sideline with what looked like an injury, went back in for the end of it, but you're not quite sure what you can get out of the offense tonight. Going to have to step up on defense. Lakari, shotgun, run, going to the far side. Hole closed quickly. Good tackle, Elijah Stewart. McLeod went down, stayed down, but gets helped up by Jermstead. 3rd down. No gain on the play. 3rd down and probably 6. There's Xavier's defense doing what we said they needed to. Pursue that football well. Tackle them, not let them turn to the corner, because the Kellenberg offensive line has dominated the line of scrimmage so far. That's the difference. That's the 7-0 difference. Right now, we already saw a missed field goal, so snapping from the 27 is a 44-yard field goal. So how confident are you if you're Kellenberg? This might be 4-down territory. Lakari, hands, Barkley, he did not get there. Pickup of 1, but he got slammed. Metzger, big tackle. Holds him where he was. It is the offense. Indecision. Staying out there, looks like. Lakari and Barkley. Knight's defense, Knight's sideline making some noise. This is a big opportunity for a 4th down stop. Doesn't get bigger in the first half. 3:24 to play. Big time momentum swinger. Lakari with Barkley in the backfield. Lakari motions across his man Meloid. Takes the snap, drops back, looks left, under pressure, steps up, slips a tackler. Did he get there? Doesn't look like he did. Xavier gets the stop they needed. Lakari nowhere to go, tried to escape and could not. Xavier builds the wall, gets the stop. Turnover on downs. Now this Knight sideline has some energy. Lot of happy, aggressive faces on the Xavier sideline. Heaney is back into the game for Xavier. He takes the snap, gives, going to the far side, and shut down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 2 for Tyler Bruno. They tried to go across the line. A couple of missed blocks led to a loss of 2, and this is what it's been for this Xavier offense. The defense has done their job, held it to 7 first-half points, but it's been a lot of negative plays, a lot of trouble offensively, so this is the real chance to turn it up before it's too late. 2:34 to play in the half. All 3 timeouts. They certainly control the pace, control the tempo at this time, but they're taking their time in the huddle. Don't want to give the Firebirds the ball back with too much time. If they can't pick up a first down, you gotta at least hope you can move the chains once here. Xavier still does not have a first down in this game. And now Xavier is forced to call their first timeout with 2:08 remaining. Kellenberg sideline fired up. Xavier got the stop they needed on defense. Can they start moving it on offense? We'll take a break, step aside, come right back. You're listening to Playoff Xavier Knights Football, streaming live. During the timeout, defensive captain James Halpin getting worked on his left shoulder here on the Xavier sideline. 2nd down and 13 from the 25-yard line for Xavier. Heaney has Riley McLaughlin next to him in the backfield. Heaney takes it, rolls out right, looking to pass. Heaney loads up, gonna go deep. Does he have Averill? He does! What a catch, Liam Averill! First completed pass of the day. That's a big one inside Kellenberg territory, down to the 44-yard line. Now you're playing for a touchdown. 1:58 to play. Now there's energy in the building. Goes from 2nd and 13 at your own 25 to 1st down and 10 at the Kellenberg 46. Nice throw, nice play design. Xavier plays aggressive and it pays off. Clock winds at 1:48. McLaughlin in the backfield with Heaney, loaded up on the near side. Heaney gonna run it, turns the corner, picks up a block. There goes Peter. Heaney lowers the shoulder. Nice run down inside the 40 to the 37. Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. Xavier tries to go quick now, 1:30 and counting. Xavier trying to get the play call in quickly. What's the hold up here? The ball still hasn't been spotted. Clock's ticking at 1:20. Xavier doesn't look like they have a sense of urgency. Play call's in now. Kellenberg sideline trying to make some noise, and it's been 20 seconds in between snaps. Approaching the 30-second mark. You can't take this much time if you're Xavier. You simply can't. Not if you want to get in the end zone. They're probably not even in field goal range right now. Direct snap. Schechner hands it off. Bono, can he turn the corner? Sutter step, trying to get to the outside at the 35, 30. Steps out of bounds at the 29. Nice play call. Really well executed. Tyler Buono able to turn that corner. That was a nice job. If he had gotten tackled in bounds, that probably requires another timeout. Xavier able to keep it in the back pocket, pick up a 1st down. 1st down gets you inside the red zone now. Sticks lined up at the 19. Now they can take their time in between snaps as the clock freezes. Bono will come to the sideline. Nice drive so far for Xavier. They got the big pass play. They respond with 2 well-executed short yard running plays. No Heaney in the backfield this time. It is just Jernstead and McLaughlin. McLaughlin on a pitch to Heaney, little misdirection, throws, it's caught, Jernstead, 20, turns upfield to the 10, steps out of bounds, inside the 10, down to the 8, and here comes a flag. It's going to be a late hit out of bounds, half the distance to the goal. Xavier is set up perfectly inside the 5 with 40 seconds to play and 4 shots at the end zone. 2-minute drill to perfection. Nice play call. Heaney snakes around the line and flips it out to a wide open Ace Jernstead, who lost the defender in the mix. 1st down, let's see. It was a late hit out of bounds. Jernstead got bent the wrong way on the tackle. 2 steps late. This ball is going to move half the distance to the goal. Spotted at the 6. And Kellenberg is going to call a timeout. They desperately need to get reorganized defensively. Xavier gets the 4th down stop. Now they moved it all the way to the 6th. Can they tie this thing up? We'll take a break. Come right back with the answer to that. You're listening to Xavier Knights Football, streaming live on the YouTube. Xavier trying to tie this thing up at 7 with 40 seconds to play before the break. They have 2 timeouts, so everything's in the playbook thus far. A couple of big pass plays got Xavier majority of it. A nice misdirection by Buono picked up another 10. They are sitting pretty. Heaney and McLaughlin take the backfield, trying to get their first points here in the playoffs. Ball is, referee still up. Now we're good to go. After a little bit of an upheld there. Heaney takes it up the middle. Can't get in. Picks up 4 down to the 2, maybe the 1. Clock runs with 32 seconds. Timeout Xavier, their second of the half. Freeze the clock at 32, yeah. This is spotted at the 1.5 yard line. Xavier's line has dominated on this drive, but before that it's been nothing. So a quick turnaround in the last 2.5 minutes or so. And he moved from back-to-back 3-and-outs and just trying to play the field position game to trying to get it in the end zone, try to tie this game up at 7. 1 timeout remaining, so still should have no problem running it. At the 1 yard line, you're going for it on 4th down, so 3 tries to punch this ball in. But if you're Xavier, going to try and get it in as soon as possible, quicker than that. New man into the game for the Knights is Daniel Carty, the senior running back. He lines up on the right with Averill. McLaughlin to the right of Heaney. Loaded up on the right hash. Heaney going to take it himself. Did he cross the pylon? He did! Touchdown, Xavier! Peter Heaney back from the sidelines and back to the end zone. Can't execute a 2-minute drill better than you just did. All smiles on the Xavier sideline. The 4th down stop leads to 6. Chance to tie it up with Sheridan Vitale. An emphatic run from Heaney. Does it himself in the red zone. Extra point opportunity for a chance to tie it up. Snap, spot, hold, almost blocked. But Sheridan Vitale is perfect. We are all tied up at 7 with 26 seconds to play in this second quarter. Big difference maker on that drive was the aggressiveness. They threw it twice, both big completions. One was to Averill on a sliding catch near the 40-yard line. Buono helped out with a nice end-around run. And then a little flick for Jernstad, who took it for another 20. Into the red zone from there was all on the ground. Perfectly executed. 26 seconds left to get a new energy on the Xavier sideline after 2 disappointing drives from the Knights offense and some slouched backs on the bench. It's all positive now, and you take that into the halftime after the first quarter and 10 minutes of the second to turn around and say that's how you ended the half is a very good sign. Kellenberg still with a chance to respond. They got 26 seconds, 1 timeout left, and we'll see maybe a good kick return puts them in good position. They want to roll the dice and be risky. But as a 7 seed, you got to play your cards right, and we'll see if they might just want to take a knee, head into the locker room. Sheridan Vital on to kick. Oh, it's a short one, almost an onside kick. Xavier does not come up with it. It is hopped on by Logan Russo. A nice play, and you know what? Kellenberg set up pretty nicely. They're at the 41-yard line. Xavier went aggressive, probably trying to earn that possession back, but they couldn't. So with 24 seconds, one timeout, you're probably only looking 25, 30 yards away from field goal range. Although Kellenberg's unit already slipped up, missed one from inside. It was only a 23-yard kick, and they couldn't hit it. Lucci gets rid of it quick to the sideline. Was he spun around inbounds? No, he went out. Good tackle on the play by 5A's Jernstead. John Hastings was trying to make one miss. Jernstead was trying to keep him in bounds and wind the clock. Wasn't able to. Although it's an 8-second play, so 16 seconds left, and he gains a yard. Not what they were looking for. Lakari able to continue to keep that passer rating pretty, but Xavier has a lot in the box right now. There's one high safety. That's Stewart trying to direct traffic. Lakari back to pass. Has numbers on the near side. Getting chased by Swanson. Can he escape? The ball's out. It's on the ground. Lakari dives on it at his own 30. Almost disastrous. Trying to play funny with that one. 4-3-2. That is how the half will end. Kenneth Swanson forces the strip sack. It is 7-7 at the break in an energizing first half. And the teams head back to their locker rooms, all tied up. Xavier's defense really kept them in that first half between the fourth down stop, between the partially blocked field goal. Xavier heads back to their locker room feeling good, smiles and clapping. Meanwhile, if you're Kellenberg, you're probably looking to come out of that first half with the lead. They don't. It's tied up at 7. Big chance to add on in that second half when Xavier will receive the kick to begin the second half. Now we will have a special ceremony for a donation.
So far, the project has raised over $5,000 for the cause that touches us all. As an exchange gift of appreciation, please give a round of applause for this inspiring partnership to tackle cancer together. From Xavier, Team Morrison.
A beautiful tribute to a great cause, honoring on the field at halftime. We'll take a break. Come back to begin the second half. It is a tied game at the end of one, 7-all, round one of the CHSAA AA playoffs. We'll be back. Stay here. Welcome back to Aviator, where it is a 7-7 halftime score. A silent first quarter from the points column. Both teams picked up a touchdown in the second. Peter Heaney, a 1-yard run for Xavier. And it was Jaden McLeod, the junior running back for Kellenberg, taking it 40-plus yards. Tied up at 7 at the half. We are about 4 minutes away from second half kickoff. Can't wait to see you there. Stay tuned. You're listening to Playoff Xavier Knights football, streaming live on the YouTube channel. The teams trade punches in the first half, but now it's time for round two. Winner take all round two, as the second half is about to begin here for the CHSAA AA playoffs. We are tied at 7, as you heard in the halftime report. Haney and McLeod, the respective touchdowns. Xavier will receive the second half kick, with Averill back deep to return, as well as Ace Jernstead. Xavier's offense had 2 3-and-outs, paired with a well-put-together 2-minute drive that took them 60 yards into the end zone. Ball's on a tee, and it is off. Here we go. It's a short kick. On a bounce fielded by Buono at the 30, spun down right near the 35, or is he still on his feet? Past the 35 to the 36. Nice second effort from the Xavier special teams unit. Good return by Buono, and Xavier is set up +10 from the kickoff spot at the 35. Peter Heaney will lead his offense back out on the field to begin the second half. Interesting to see what the script is coming out of the locker room, because their only success was on a drive where they threw the ball 2 times. Other than that, it has been negative plays in the backfield. Kellenberg Firebirds have been able to stop the run and keep that line clogged up, A through C gaps. McLaughlin and Heaney in the backfield, stacked on the near side. It's a direct snap to McLaughlin up the middle, powers ahead, lowers his shoulder to the 40, maybe the 41, picks up 5. They brought Landberg in motion as a decoy. Kellenberg wasn't fooled, though. Xavier able to pick up a couple of yards. Another angry run, and McLaughlin is put his stamp on that aspect of the running game. He runs hard, tries to carry tacklers and make men miss. He stands at a solid 5'10", 200. Senior running back from Brooklyn, also plays rugby, probably where he gets a little bit of that toughness. Heaney going to take it himself over the right. Cannot shed a tackler on the spot. Brought down by 40, Anthony Napoli. Napoli drilled him. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 5. A minute into this 3rd quarter. It's been a defensive battle so far. Does that trend continue into this second half? Good tackle, though, coming up from the linebacking spot. Their own end of the field, probably looking to move the chains on this play, or at least bring it within a yard to think about going for it. Averill, Landberg, some of them stacked up. Heaney rolls left, picks up blockers. Heaney turns the corner at the 45. 1st down yardage, lowers his shoulder, grinds his way to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 9. 1st down, Xavier, and they move the chains on the opening possession. He just kept driving the legs. After the 1st down yardage, he was well into the secondary. Nice kick out blocks. Riley McLaughlin, the running back, led the charge. But that entire left side of the line got out there quick, moved to the 2nd level. That's what really freed Heaney up. Nice job, Xavier, to try that other side of the field for the first time. Now they're right around midfield with a chance to make it back-to-back possessions with a touchdown, at least a score. It's a jump shift right to left, and it looked like it's going to be a encroachment on Kellenberg. They moved early and came across the line. So it's a 5-yard penalty, sets up 1st down and 5, and the Xavier jump shift works. So they move it to the plus side of midfield, up to the 46. Xavier breaks the huddle quickly on 1st and 5. Another jump shift. This time Kellenberg able to stay right where they are. They load it up on the left side now. Snap, McLaughlin carrying tacklers, but luckily if he got back to the line of scrimmage, Chris Biondi made the tackle and then stepped over him. Second and 5, the encroachment still makes it a manageable 5 for Xavier. 8:50 and counting to play. But this Xavier bench, about 3 minutes left in the 2nd quarter, dead, now rejuvenated. 2nd and 5, they loaded up on the left. Even though they snap from the left hash mark, Heaney runs left, gets his blocks, 1st down yardage. Past the 40-yard line. Nice run. 2nd time this drive, Heaney's taking it to the left. It's worked both times. That is a Xavier 1st down, and now is that Heaney slow to get up for the 2nd time tonight? Looks like it is the Xavier quarterback on his knees, gets up and then waves off the athletic training staff. They're going to come out to check on him anyways. was slow to get up. He was on his knees, but now they're going to take him off the field for a play, so that's interesting. Schechner comes in the game as the backup quarterback. He has already been in there. He's officially listed as a tight end, but can take snaps when he needs to. Heaney gets looked at on the sidelines for the second time, and this is likely a scenario where it's one play and then right back in. First down and 10 from the 39. McLaughlin, and it's actually Elijah Stewart in the backfield. Snap to Stewart, running right. Good, blocks McLaughlin. Stewart turns the corner at the 30, slips a tackler to the 25-yard line. Good pickup and a flex after the fact. 3, moves it 13. First down, Knights. No Heaney, no problem. Elijah Stewart, big time burst inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, and things are looking up for the Knights on the opening possession of the second half. Heaney actually remains on the sideline for this snap. It's the same two in the backfield for this play. Stewart again to the right, same play. Stewart this time only able to pick up. Oh, with a fight after the fact and a scuffle. Couple of pushes and shoves after the fact. Stewart picked up about 8. Down to the 20. McLaughlin comes up limping, but he returns to the huddle. He looks all right. And now Peter Heaney back into the game for Stewart. That's a successful burst for Elijah Stewart, who comes onto the field for 2 plays, gets it, same play call, picks up 21. A first down the first play. Now it's 2nd and 7, the 21. But you can't ask for much more from a running back who doesn't usually take snaps when it's a healthy front. Heaney takes a snap up the middle, gets through a hole, first down to the 15. Good blocks opened up. It was the Kellenberg defensive line dominating the line of scrimmage in that first half, but right now it's Xavier moving the ball however they like it. Outside, inside, speed, power, doesn't matter. Xavier is there, and they're taking the call. Snap from the 15-yard line. Heaney to the right, picks up a block. Heaney down inside the 10, following his lineman for a pickup of about 6 down to the 9. Good block that time by, looked like 72, Preston Martin. 2nd and 4 after a pickup of 6. Xavier in the red zone, they're 1 for 1 here today. It was Heaney taking himself for a touchdown last time. Xavier adds Sal Vital to the formation on defense, on offense. They load up to the left. Kellenberg sideline trying to make some noise. It's a handoff up the middle. McLaughlin has the first down to the 6. Piles, bodies stacked up. Ref's actually going to mark this ball inside the 5, more like the 4-yard line. First down, Xavier. Chance to take their first lead of the day. Whistle blows. First down, Xavier. They said Heaney on the PA. I believe it was McLaughlin straight ahead, the running back. Xavier breaks the huddle quick. They load it up on the right side, trying to take their first lead of the playoffs. Heaney has it, going to take it himself to the right, picks up a block. Peter Heaney has number 2, and the Knights have the lead. Unanswered for Xavier. Or 13, chance to make it 14 now. Touchdown number 2 on the day for Peter Heaney. And it's all the offensive line on that drive. All run, no pass. Xavier does it. Heaney on the hold for Sheridan Vitale with 5:38 to play in the third quarter. A great drive. Can they cap it off with the extra point? Snap, spot, hold. Kick is perfect. 14-7 Xavier. And after a first quarter where they didn't score, the next 10 minutes of the second, their offense looked dead. It's the last drive of the second half, last drive of the second quarter, and the first one of the third quarter, giving the Knights a 14-7 lead. Think it was energized before, now it's really energized. Step it up a level, put an extra shot of espresso in there. Heaney and the entire offensive line. In this winner-go-home game, emotions high on the Knights sideline. The Firebirds, the 7 seed, trying to come in here to Aviator and pull off the upset. It's a lot of sitting on their sideline and not a lot to be happy about in the past 7 minutes of game time. Or more like 9 minutes of game time, bridging the first and second quarters. Did that thing again for the second time this game where they sprint up to the line like they're going to go an onside kick. Kellenberg not fooled at all. So I assume Sheridan Vitale is going to back up and launch this thing. Indeed he does. Puts a good boot into it. Fielded by McLeod, the touchdown scorer. As a convoy of blockers, McLeod trying to dance free. Good tackle. Ryan Lavin stopped him shy of the 30, and that is where the Kellenberg offense has their first chance of the second half. The passing game has worked all day. Daniel Licari and the entire wide receiver unit have been on point. The chemistry has been there. It's the running game that has started to brew some problems. Xavier's defensive line has stepped up. But a nice job so far on special teams if you're Xavier. The one thing that you look back on and say, that muffed fumble by Kellenberg, a chance to pick up that ball with plus territory. Kellenberg eventually ends up going down the field to score the touchdown. But with the lead right now, you can do nothing but try and protect it. McLeod and Barkley in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 29-yard line. Barkley motions out. McLeod, the run, slips the tackler and picks up 4. Stopped at the spot by Sal Vitale. Big pickup. Kellenberg trying to figure out what to do here on offense. They spread 3 to the near side, but there's only 2 defenders there. Kellenberg has the mismatch on the numbers if they want it. Looked like a false start. McLeod ready to, that was Licari ready to rip. Incomplete. He just spiked it. Had his receiver, John Hastings, his favorite target, open, but was not able to hit it. 3rd down and 5. Knights defense trying to get a 3 and out on their first defensive possession of the second half. Ken Licari lead his team to another first down. He's in the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking left, throwing over the middle. It's incomplete! Incomplete! He was looking for Chernosky, but he got popped at the 45. Sal Vitale delivered a brutal hit. Incomplete. Falls to the turf. Punting unit out. Woo! There's a fiery hit. Vitale came in and delivered. It's a high snap. Almost goes over the head of the punter. He's able to field and get it off cleanly at the 40. Oh my goodness, that almost hit. A Xavier return man. That ball dies inside the 40 at the 36-yard line. All said and done. At the end of the day, Caleb Diassi just able to get off that punt is great. Takes a bounce at the 45, rolls down, and if you're Kellenberg, you're saying after everything that went wrong at the beginning of that play, you're not off that bad. Xavier will take back over. 1st and 10 at their own 36. It's been a touchdown in each of the last 2 possessions both by Heaney, both on the ground, with 4:37 to play in the third quarter. Now is where the running game begins to milk the clock and begins to become your friend with the clock. Heaney, oh my goodness, trouble with the snap. It goes to Buono, who's trying to turn the corner, picks up a block at the 40, 45, 50, stays in bounds near midfield. It wasn't trouble with the snap, it was trouble on the line. Looked like somebody on that right side might have slipped, might have been 66. And that's Gianni Judy, an all-conference player, but nonetheless, it is a very successful play for Xavier. And I guess they're going to call Buono out at his own 45. Looked like he might have had a little bit more, but he stepped out of bounds on that far sideline. Couple steps early. Heaney going to take it himself towards the near side. Slips the tackler in the backfield. Heaney dancing around. Makes two, makes three miss. At the end of the day, it's only a pickup of 3. Well done, though, to escape tacklers in the backfield. Connor Ephraim had him by the legs, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but couldn't bring him down. Turns into a net positive for Xavier up to the 48-yard line. Kellenberg's defense has had no answers each of the last 2 drives. Can Xavier nail it home for a third straight, trying to make this 7-2 matchup have that scoreboard look a little bit more like the dominant performance Xavier was expected to heading into the night? Jump shift left to right. Kellenberg's line does not bite. Oh my goodness, it's fumbled. McLaughlin comes back with it, and it's going to get drilled back at the original line of scrimmage. He put his helmet down, and you could hear the pads clanking up here from the booth with 3:15 to play. That's the second fumbled snap of the second half, but Xavier's unable to rebound. 3rd down and 9, though. Kellenberg gets a negative play. Can they get off the field here? Send out a Xavier punt, because that's what they really need. They need to keep this a one-possession game. They need to let their offense get the ball back. They scored the first points of the game, but from then on it has been a stale offense, and the defense also hasn't been able to put in much. 3rd down and 8. Big play for both sides. Xavier trying to pick up a first down, possibly stretch that lead. Kellenberg trying to get a stop. Some noise from both sidelines. They loaded up on the near side. Buono in motion. It's a run right up the middle. Hole closes quickly right at midfield. 5 yards short of the line of scrimmage is Elijah Stewart, who got canned from 3 directions. 4th down and 5. And that's going to be a punt coming out for Theo Sheridan Vital. 2:12 to play. Promising start to the drive with a big run to the far side from Buono, but from there it stalls out. Muffed punt the muffed snap from McLaughlin really is what kills that on 2nd down. Sheridan Vital back to punt, heels at his own 36, snap from midfield. Takes a snap. It is a booming punt, a lot of hang time. Gets Jernstead the opportunity to get down there, fair caught. Oh, Jernstead wrapped him up after the fair catch was called for, and there comes the flag. Catch interference is going to move Kellenberg up 15 yards. Jernstead must have missed the signal. It is an easy 15 going to be tacked on to the end of that one, and a mistake that you don't really want to make. Special teams difficulties for Xavier, but not a bad punt by Sheridan Vital. The net is going to be, was originally 30, but when you tack on 15, it is a 15-yard flipped field position. Fair caught at the 20. This ball should be spotted at the 35 where it is. So 15 yards from the snap is where Kellenberg takes over. They're looking at a chance to try and tie this game up, maybe even take the lead if they can get aggressive enough. Lakari takes the snap. It's a handoff to his running back, Barkley, who tries to stiff arm a man, but he gets brought down for a gain of nada. Brady Metzger was in there couple of Xavier guys met him at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Berkeley had a couple big runs in that first quarter, has slowed down since. The workload has gone a little bit more to Jaden McLeod, who has the touchdown. Quick snap here for Kellenberg. It's a run right up the middle. Good tackle. Malachi flag down. In the secondary, it was one of the back judges who threw the marker, so chance that this is going to be on Xavier. Lavin brought him down to the line of scrimmage for 3rd and 10. We'll see what the marker is. It's going to be an offensive holding. DeFalco is going to want to back them up, make it 2nd down and 20, play the field position game. So could have declined it, bring up 3rd down and 10. Instead, he's going to bring up 2nd down and 20, redo the down, and Kellenberg's offense hasn't been good, so likely trying to pin that punt unit back further because he knows Kellenberg's also struggled there, so likely a wise decision. The 2 trade penalties early on this Kellenberg drive. With 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter, 13 in the game. Back to pass, throwing, incomplete for McLeod. Lavin in coverage, broke that pass up. 3rd down and 20. If Kellenberg wants to convert, they're going to need to pick up a 5th of the field. The marker is a daunting 20 yards away at the 45-yard line. The deepest man, Stewart, in the secondary is still 5 yards above the marker. Lakari, a rare incompletion. Knights Nation making a lot of noise. Lakari takes the snap. He's back to pass. Pump fakes. Escapes the pocket. Trying to get away from Vitale. Throws it incomplete. Far sideline. Threw it away. Punting unit out. This is the dominant Xavier was looking for the whole time. Lavin all over the last 2 incompletions. Give him credit. He's been great in coverage. Jernstead back deep to receive. And that's back-to-back 3-and-outs from Kellenberg to start their offense in the second half. It has really come to a screeching halt since the touchdown. They have nothing. Punt almost blocked. Jernstead tells everyone to back off. Oh! Kellenberg player touched it at the 40. That ball probably should be spotted at the 40. But the referees are going to blow it at the 30. Controlled there by James Wisnowski on punt coverage. Xavier's offense went 2 touchdowns, then a punt. Let's see if they can get back to the scoring after another good defensive stop. High fives all around from Xavier. The defensive captains, Brady Metzger and Rob Malachi. High fives all around, and it is an energetic squad for Xavier, and the officials do end up moving it to the 39-yard line. That's the right call. It hit number 5, Patrick Ciampa, I believe, on the way by, and he touched it there. That's where it should have been downed originally. The officials make the right call and move that ball up a good 10 yards. So that's important for Xavier, and now the officials are going to need to swap the balls out. Another official delay here, but the bottom line, Xavier back in control of this game after they went down after Kellenberg had the momentum. They steal it right back with 2 straight touchdowns and trying to dominate and show the reason why they're the 2 seed in these playoff rankings. New balls in play. Heaney runs right, picks up a big block. Heaney near 1st down yardage, shoved out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Picks up 8, maybe 9. Couple more good kick-out blocks. And, man, Xavier has dominated the front. I can't stress it enough. Bay hit a couple of times in a row now for the Knights. Peter Heaney chants up from this crowd. He was hurt 2 separate times. Had to go out for injury-related reasons for only a couple snaps each, but indeed he has He has bounced back and looked like the best version of himself. Heaney going to run it again to the right. Same play. This time Kellenberg over it. Strong tackle on the near side by 75, which is Chris Biondi, who pancaked Heaney. But he has enough for a first down, so pickup of 3 at the 50 moves the chains first down. Clock winds, and that is going to do it for this third quarter. A one where the Knights strike their first lead of the playoffs, and they lead by 7, looking to expand on that as the fourth quarter begins. 14-7, your score here from Aviator after 3. 12 minutes left to decide who wins and who goes home. First and 10, Xavier at midfield as this fourth quarter begins. 3 in the book, Xavier the 7-point lead, trying to grow that to double digits and cement their path to advance to round number 2. This time Xavier moves right to left here in the fourth quarter. Heaney takes the snap. It's a give. Running right side. Buono trying to work to the outside of the 50, 45, 40. Burst of speed right near the 35-yard line. Oh my goodness, that stutter step. That looks good for Buono, and now there's an injured Knight. Immediate drop to the knee for some of the guys. And it looks like there's an injured Kellenberg player on this Xavier sideline that the medical training staff is trying to get to. Don't have a number, can't ID him this far, but both medical training staffs out. Both teams immediately dropped to a knee, and it was a hard collision by Buono on the near sideline. Lowered his shoulder before taking a step out of bounds. And it is a not great scene here at Aviator. We'll take a break, step aside for a timeout for an injured player. The injured Firebird is C.J. Kiernan, a junior safety, 6'3", 190 from Rockville Center, who is now sitting upright right at the Xavier 35-yard line. Clock stops after the first play of the second quarter, but again, the air has been sucked out of this place. We'll come back to you when we know more about the situation. C.J. Kiernan up, walking off under his own power, but the real concern is the left shoulder. He has not moved it at all since he got up, and it looks like there's a chance that is a dislocated shoulder for C.J. Kiernan. Don't want to speculate on what the injury is, but certainly not one you want to see. So we'll keep you updated as we know more. Heaney runs to the left, meanwhile, on first down and 10. Hole closes quickly. Ooh, big hit by 53 for Kellenberg, who is Christian Antwine. But again, the concern is for C.J. Kiernan. Hoping the sophomore is okay. He is now on the Kellenberg bench. Second down and 6. After the Heaney run, let's see if Xavier can continue to try and run this clock out. Now it'll continue to wind after an official's timeout. Heaney and McLaughlin as the Knights loaded up to the right at the 30-yard line. Kellenberg, a lot in the box. Heaney runs right, picks up a nice block. McLaughlin, it looks like he's a yard short of the first down, maybe 2. Moves it inside the inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Third down and 2. Likely 4-down territory. Maybe Xavier thinks that they want to get a lead with a field goal, but Firebirds, big chance to get off the field. Schechner going to come onto the field for Dom Cognata. And Sal Vitale joins the huddle for the Knights offense with 10.5 to play in the game. Minute and a half gone by, fourth quarter. It is McLaughlin and Stewart in the backfield. No Heaney on this one. Stewart has it, runs left, picks up a block. Stewart, first down and more. Stewart turns the corner inside the 20 to the 15, down to the 13. Elijah Stewart, energy. First down, Knights, big third down conversion. Needed 2, picked up 10. First down, Knights in the red zone. Boy, Elijah Stewart has been magnificent today. It hasn't been a ton of workload, but when he's gotten it, he has made the most of the opportunity. Knights trying to make this a 14-point game. Put this a little bit more out of reach for Kellenberg. Heaney has it, runs right. Nice blocking, but a flag is thrown as he's dragged down at the 10. Looked like he fell awkwardly. Might be a flag on the tackle. And nope, it's going to be a holding against Xavier to back him up 10. So that'll move them all the way back to their own 25-yard line. First and 20 now for Heaney. But Xavier is trying to keep friends with the clock right now, which is at 9:39. Most important thing, you hold this ball, can't turn it over, hold that possession. Kellenberg trying to force a fumble, maybe punch it out, strip it away from the ball carrier. Try to get that back. It's a run, misdirection, but Averill tripped and slipped. Picked up maybe a yard. It was a well-designed play, and he had the space, but he got caught by the ankles. Second down and call it 18 now from inside the 30. How does Xavier's defense come out is the next question you ask yourself. It has been a dominant second-half performance. They have shut out Kellenberg thus far in the second. Couple more defensive stops, and the Knights have this thing wrapped up. The offense right now trying to add to it, but Heaney got dumped behind the line. Here comes a flag. It's going to be a face mask. Oh, boy. Kellenberg had a third down and 20 coming up, but it looked like it was a face mask against Christian Antwine. 15 yards closer to the goal line. First down, Knights. Still no signal yet. Yep, it's going to be a personal foul face mask. There it is to advance it. up from the 25-yard line where Heaney got bent wrong half the distance to the goal. They're going to call it, I believe, against Antoine. Might have been Jean-Francis, though, because he's reacting like he didn't like something. 8.5 to go now, and, it is second down and 8. So Xavier actually didn't get the yardage half the distance to the goal for a first down. It's a run to Stewart, who brings it inside the 10, tackled at the 8. 75 for Xavier came up hobbling. That is Ryan Mamadov, and another Kellenberg defender injured. It'll be third down and 3 when we get back, but hopefully not another severe injury for Kellenberg. We'll take a break and come back. Well, actually we won't, because up immediately, popping right up before even the athletic training staff could get to him, was 75 Chris Biondi, who has made a big impact in this game for Kellenberg on the defensive front, made a couple tackles for losses, has been a game disruptor right up the middle. So not someone for Kellenberg they want to lose midway through this fourth quarter, but Biondi out right now, heading to the sideline. Third down and short for Xavier inside the 10. The first down marker's at the 5. So you need 2, probably 3, in order to cash in on this possession. Heaney back in at quarterback with McLaughlin. Stewart out. Heaney runs right. Is going to get tackled probably a yard short. Kellenberg stiffens up. Signal called. Fourth down and 1 coming up. An emphatic stop for Kellenberg. No hesitation for the Xavier Knights offense. They're staying out there. DeFalco going to keep his team out there. Nope. Until they're not. Theo Sheridan Vitale comes on as Coach DeFalco tries to make this a double-digit lead. 7 minutes to play. Nope. And they switch it back now. Actually, no. Heaney's just out there to hold. It'll be spotted from the 14, a 24-yard kick from Theo Sheridan Vitale to give the Knights a 10-point lead. Oh, high snap. Good hold, and it's blocked. Kellenberg gets a piece out the back of the end zone, and this lead holds. Oh, my goodness. Mark Chernosky came right through and blocked Vitale's kick. A missed field goal for each. It was a wonky operation from the beginning, a high snap. Good hold by Heaney, he got it down. But Kellenberg with the big stop they were looking for. Keeping it at a 7-point game with 6:50 to play. They're in prime position to head down the field and tie this game up. From surely a Xavier double-digit lead to all of a sudden Kellenberg is set up for the opportunity to tie this game up. 6:50 to play, they got all the time in the world. Their comeback chances start now. Lakari gives up the middle. Barkley shaking tacklers. Barkley with a first down yardage up to the 30. Angry run. Kellenberg re-energized, and they go no huddle. They are making a lot of noise over there. Good run by Brendan Barkley. We saw a lot of him in the first half, not so much in the second. But man, he looked good there. The Knights respond with a defense chant of their own. 6.5 to play. Lakari has McLeod, the touchdown scorer, in his backfield, and he motions out McCabe. Lakari takes a snap, handoff. McLeod trying to strip tacklers, but Lavin said no thank you. Pickup of 3 to the 35. Second down and 6 coming up. Good tackle by the linebacking pair. Malachi also came in to get a piece. Second and 6, under 6 minutes to play. Kellenberg goes quick, bring 2 running backs into their backfield. Lakari, handoff up the middle. Barkley slips a tackler. Barkley cuts it back to the middle. Past the 40, he has the first down. Brendan Barkley putting his stamp on this drive so far. First down, Kellenberg. And quickly they move it from their own 20 on the touchback up to the 41-yard line in a matter of 3 plays. They go hurry up again. Knights trying to get organized on defense. Oh boy. Looks like some miscommunication. Now they got it sorted out. Lakari back to pass, gonna float one down the left sideline, going deep, incomplete. Ace Jernstedt was all over it. Like mustard on a sandwich. No part goes uncovered. Ace Jernstedt stride for stride with John Hastings. Can't go deep, incomplete. Good coverage. Lachari tried to roar back and hit his man deep for the first pass of the drive. Instead, it's second down and 10 back at the 41. Lavin frantically gets across the line as they reorganize. Barkley up the middle, slips tacklers. Barkley lowers the shoulder through the Knights secondary up to the 47-yard line this time. Pickup of 6, third down and 4. Hell's bells rings, but it's likely 4-down territory no matter for Kellenberg. Trying to get this comeback going with a big drive. Xavier trying to get the stop. They're likely going to need 2 of them. Lakari and this offense need to make this a manageable 4th down. Barkley up the middle, slips a tackler. Barkley is a half-yard short, maybe a full yard. Xavier comes in, and it is a gang tackle from all angles. 4th down and 1. No chance the offense comes off the field. 4:23 to play. Do or die for Kellenberg. Xavier can try and cement it with a 4th down stop. It's Lakari under center for the first time. Handoff right at the middle. Barkley, did he get there? Looks like he did. Initial push had him stopped. Second effort stretches it over. First down, Kellenberg, and the drive continues. Woo, they needed that. Sticks move. 48-yard line this time. Kellenberg has no problem with this clock continuing to wind, trying to score a touchdown and leave Xavier with as little time as possible. Lakari takes the snap. It's Barkley again. He's been the workhorse all drive. Not this time, though. Forward progress will maybe give him 2 yards. Couple good tackles there from Xavier to hold him, and every set of downs from here on out is 4 stops and the game's over if you're Xavier. For Kellenberg, you got to continue to move it, get chunks, make the 3rd and 4th downs manageable. There's no need to try and go for the end zone with 3.5 to play. You have your timeouts. Things are all right for Kellenberg. They don't need to force it. Now they're really taking their time with these huddles. They got to get the snap off. Lakari takes the snap. Oh, he wasn't ready for it. He fumbles, and now he sits on it. Oh, boy. That's what can happen. The center recognized he had to get it off before the delay of game penalty would have gone out because Kellenberg took so long to get that play call in. Lakari falls on it 6 yards behind the snap. 3rd, 14. 2 stops and you're going home for Kellenberg. Xavier trying to move on. Lakari back to pass. Looks. Flushed out right. Being chased by Swanson. Can he escape? He does, but not the second tackler. It's a very solid pickup, though. Goes from 3rd down and 13 to more like 4th down and 6. Kellenberg set up well from 3rd and long to 4th and manageable. Good job by Lakari to get out of the backfield and make it a positive play. Good coverage down the field for Xavier. Close the gaps. Here it is. Snap from the 46. Kellenberg needs the 38. 4th down and 6 with a chance to end it. Can Xavier knock off Kellenberg and move on? 2:20 to play. Kellenberg looks unorganized. They might want a timeout here. No signal for one yet. DeFalco trying to get his play call in. Licari takes a snap. He keeps it. He's back to pass. Throws over the middle. And complete. It's broken up. And Xavier gets the turnover on downs. The defense comes up big like they have all night. Incomplete. It's a party on the Xavier sideline. Good play by the Xavier defense. Good series. They stand tall. Xavier turns it over and picks up possession at the 44-yard line. Just trying to make Kellenberg burn these timeouts. A first down should ice it. Woo, that was energetic. They still do need a first down, though. This game's now fully over. It's McLaughlin up the middle for 2. Timeout called immediately by Kellenberg head coach Eric Miassi. Kellenberg calls their first time out of the half. That means 2 stops, probably takes 20 seconds off the clock. You're looking at 1:40. That's if they stop Xavier shy of the sticks. Then you're looking at a Sheridan Vitale punt. I'm guessing around the 20-yard line. You're probably looking at 1.5 minutes if this is perfectly executed for the Firebirds to use on offense with no timeouts. Xavier can end it with a first down. Jump shift right to left. Heaney's in the shotgun with McLaughlin. Kellenberg ready to sell out to the run. It is. Heaney over the right edge, picks up a block, tackled at the 49-yard line. Timeout immediately. Kellenberg stopped him. That's 2 straight stops. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. Kellenberg has done a nice job this series. They know what they got to do. That's their second time out of the half. 1 remaining. 3rd down and 4. Can the offense pull through with 1 more first down? Can Kellenberg's defense give the offense one last chance? The big question on this upcoming 3rd down. We'll take a break and have all that action after this. As they say, this one is for all the marbles. And this time, Xavier is going to burn their first time out of the half, making sure they get organized and have everything perfect for this key 3rd down. We'll take a break again. Come back when we have a play to run. You're listening to Xavier Knights Football Playoffs, streaming live on the YouTube channel. Let's set the stage. Kellenberg, a 1-8 team in the regular season. Xavier 7-2. Kellenberg trying to come in Aviator and upset the Knights. They scored the first touchdown of the game. Xavier responded with back-to-back touchdown drives, bridging the first and second halves. Both defenses have stood strong since. Xavier's especially. Now it's time. One third down conversion can win it. Xavier unorganized even after the timeout. But here we go. Sal Vitale back onto the field and in formation. Heaney's in the shotgun. He has the snap. He runs right. Heaney looks like he has the first down. Officials say that he does. First down, Peter Heaney. Victory formation coming up. That is it. It was a scare for the 16th Street boys early in that first half. But they come back emphatically. And with no timeouts, Kellenberg can do nothing but look at that clock wind down. Kellenberg can only hope that something goes wrong for Xavier. They shouldn't need another first down. They are going to run a play with McLaughlin to the 38. But again, you take your knees here, this game is over. Kellenberg doesn't have timeouts, and oh boy, not what you want to see. It's an injured Xavier Knight. Oh boy. Certainly not what you want to see when this game is all but over. Excuse me, I was wrong. Kellenberg did have one timeout remaining. So that's why Xavier couldn't head into victory formation. They'll save it with an injury timeout. But boy, there's been a lot of injuries in this fourth quarter. Hoping everyone's all right. We'll take a break. Come right back. It was the center, Tyler Bannon, coming off the field as the injured Xavier Knight. I wonder if Kellenberg is going to be able to keep their timeout because of the injury stoppage. I think that's what the officials are sorting out here with Coach Dom DeFalco. And it looks like Xavier is going to take a knee, and that will end it. Oh, they looks like DeFalco wanted to take a knee, but the players didn't know that. So a lot of miscommunication. Xavier tried to run a play. They motioned across Bono, but they don't need to run a play. The staff is trying to get them to take a knee, and they clearly did not get that memo. Luckily for them, Xavier had timeouts to spare. But if you didn't, you're talking about running a play that could potentially have been disastrous. Crisis averted, though. Timeouts called. It's second down, so 2 knees on second and third down should end it. And that is what DeFalco is going to send his offense out to do. After these continued whistles that are puzzling, it's a respot of the ball. My goodness. The Kellenberg coach came out off of the sideline screaming. Eric Miassi had a big problem. He just ran onto the field. I don't know what happened. Now they're trying to separate him from a fight. What is happening? Scuffle at midfield. DeFalco trying to insert Bannon, his starting center, back in there so it's executed properly. Officials aren't going to let him say it's too late of a substitution. And what's going on at midfield is beyond me. These last 3 minutes have taken a long time. Miscommunication. But the bottom line is Xavier should be taking a knee. Eric Miassi just ran off the sideline screaming at officials. I think he was screaming at his players, actually, but, I mean, you can't do that. The ball was ready to be snapped. That was live. And the Xavier fans are just as confused as I am about why Eric Miassi is still on the field. Back to his sideline now. Xavier, all they need to do is take a kneel or two. Oh my goodness, is that a fumble? Oh my goodness, did Kellenberg recover that? That could be a disaster. They have the football. Oh my goodness, Kellenberg has it. Xavier just tried to take a knee. and they couldn't. They fumbled. It might have been a result of a backup center, but they fumbled on the kneel down. I think things I have never seen before happening in this game. And Kellenberg, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion wins them the game. This is insane. This is insane. Xavier's defense has to come up big, or this is one of the craziest comeback stories you'll ever hear. Tackled inbounds. Nice job. Clock winds. It was Chernaski there. 52 seconds to play. Kellenberg has no timeouts. They got to get the snap off. They do. Lachari back to pass, being pursued. Throws almost intercepted. That would have won the game. Ryan Lavin had a chance at it, and I don't think he can believe he didn't come up with that. Oh, my dangerous pass from Lachari. After Xavier shouldn't even be in this position if they could have just executed the kneel. Oh my goodness, Dom Cognata is running into the stands trying to fire up this crowd. 3rd down and 3, that's not the issue for Kellenberg. They're worried about the clock. It did stop because of the incompletion. I'll let the crowd do the talking. Lachari back to pass. Under pressure, gets rid of it, caught. Tackled, inbounds, oh, he tried to lateral it. Oh my goodness, that looked like a forward pass. First down, Kellenberg, was he able to get out of bounds? That is one of the crazier plays I have ever seen. Chernaski caught it before he got tackled in bounds. He lateraled it to his teammate who stepped out of bounds. Oh my goodness. Kellenberg finding new ways to make things happen. It's at the 40 with 30 seconds. Lachari back to pass, screen pass outside. Chernaski out of bounds, gain of a yard. Oh my goodness. How about this for an ending? Out of bounds with 24 seconds left. Wow. That's all I can say. Wow. So much has happened in the last 30 seconds. 24 to play. Can Xavier hold on? Can Kellenberg get their miracle wishes answered? Lachari fakes the handoff. Flags come. Full start. That's not going to help. Back up 5. Crowd noise certainly playing a factor. Doesn't get much louder than this at Aviator unless you're talking Turkey Bowl. 5-yard penalty, backs Kellenberg up. Second down and 12 now. 24 seconds, though, the most important part. No timeouts for Kellenberg. They got out of bounds or spike it. Lachari had trouble falling down, incomplete. He tried to hand it off or fake the handoff to Barkley and then ran into each other. I don't understand why you're running play-action passes with 24 seconds left and no timeouts. I don't think the defense is biting for it, but hey, that's not my decision. Third and 12, Averill was going to come on, then he didn't. Lachari has 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. He's back to pass. Looking underneath, it's caught. Krzyzewski, and makes a man, miss. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. Well done, Mark Chernosky. Ooh, nice fake move. Got out of bounds. Takes up 6 seconds, but Kellenberg moves the ball. Third down and 2 at the 20, at the 31. Xavier trying to get organized. Kellenberg, 2 shots, but really they got to get in the end zone within 18 seconds. That's probably only time for 2 plays, maybe 3 if you do it perfectly. Lachari, back to pass, hits Chernosky. Is that an inbound tackle? Is the clock going to wind? No, it is not. He got out of bounds. Xavier thought that the clock would have winded. First down, Kellenberg. 12 seconds left now. Timeout, Dom DeFalco and Xavier. This game is insane. I can't describe it any other way. Xavier, 1 minute ago, was taking kneels to win the game. They fumble. Kellenberg gets possession with no timeouts. They've worked the sidelines well to even give themselves a chance. Certainly in Hail Mary range, they'll have a chance at the end zone. Likely you're looking at one play, working the boundaries, try to get another 10, 12 yards towards the sidelines. Have to make sure you get out of bounds or this game could end before you even get your chance for the end zone. Xavier has to cover the sidelines. But then after that, man, you're looking at, what, a 25-yard hook to the end zone? Extremely doable. At this stage, we've already seen some crazy disasters this season for Xavier. You go back to their game, I believe it was against Chaminade. 4th down and 10. Chaminade picks up a 70-yard touchdown that won them the game. Can Kellenberg get the same fate? Xavier plus Liam Averill all the way in the end zone with a deep receiver. Here we go. Lachari motions across a man. Takes the snap. Back to pass. Gonna load up. Far sideline. Tackled and forced out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 4 seconds left. It's completed for a first down to John Hastings, and Kellenberg has a chance to win. Kellenberg can tie it with a 10-yard completion in the end zone and try and win it with a 2-point conversion. A chance for utter disaster to occur. There's no other way of explaining it. Kellenberg only has time for one more snap. It's going to have to be to the end zone. Xavier has a timeout defensively if they want to spend it. Could you imagine if the Knights get knocked out after this drama? Oh boy, what this would be. They need a stop. Kellenberg needs a touchdown. Here we go. Back to pass, Lacharo, looking, runs left, gonna have to get it to the end zone. Clocks at triple zeros, floats it up, it is gone! No, it's dropped! It's dropped! Kellenberg had a chance! It's incomplete and Xavier wins! Oh my goodness! Absolute mayhem! How did it happen? I'm not sure! But you can plant a sword in the W column. I have never seen a wilder game of football across any level. How is the only word I can say. Xavier elated as they go to the handshake line. They survive. Oh my goodness, Kellenberg won one game all regular season, put up a fight for the ages, but the 2 seed Xavier holds on, and they will move on. 14-7, a defensive masterclass for the Knights. wins it in the playoffs. Straight up crazy. I truly have no words to accurately describe what occurred in the last minute and 15 seconds of that game. Kellenberg certainly had a chance. Lachari floated it up, but it got knocked down incomplete. And that is how the Firebirds season will end. They had a chance, but Xavier held strong. The defense of Xavier, the story the entire night. They pitch a second half shutout and allow 7 points on the night. That's it. That is truthfully undescribable. A very slow, somber walk back to the huddle for Kellenberg as they put up a hell of a fight, but it comes to no avail. The Knights survive. A wild last play, a wild last drive, a wild last quarter, a wild last half, a wild game all around. Nothing but surprises. Time and time when Xavier had the chance to pull away, Kellenberg stuck in it. When Kellenberg had the chance to add to their lead, Xavier shut them down. 14 unanswered is how the Knights win. Wow. We will be back with you for the next round of playoff football next weekend. Can't wait to see you there. I'm Josh Wooliver for the entire Xavier administration and football program, saying have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. What a